No King's Day 2.0. I advise for the most part you stay indoors, but if you're like me and you live life, you go outside, you actually do stuff, you should probably bring a piece of kit with you just in case. Millions of people intend to go out and protest, hopefully mostly peacefully. And I'm not here to talk about the politics of it. I'm talking about if you live life and you intend to step outdoors, there should be some things that you bring with you at a minimum. Now, as I go through these items, check your local laws because I don't know what you're allowed to carry. I'm in Texas and I can basically carry whatever the F I want. But if you live in some of those states like California or New York, places that are not as, you know, forgiving with the laws for some of the stuff I'm going to mention, you may want to check your stuff out. Now, let's just talk about the things that will be physically on my body. Then we'll transition to the things that are a little bit more removable. First, we do have a fixed blade knife. Your choice, whatever you want to do. This one specifically is the Wargo. This is the mini Wargo specifically by Montana Knife Company. Very small, very discreet, easy to carry. This is something that easily could be a main carry for you, whether it's a DCC clip or an Alti clip, something that's going to keep it in place, keep it easy to access, able to pull it out, use it for uh, defense purposes, for cutting purposes, using it for whatever. I like the fact it does have this ring. You're probably going to break your finger if you put it back here, but at least it keeps it from slipping down, slipping out of your hand. Or if you were to do some type of reverse grip of whatever kind, you can kind of just keep the knife where you need it by putting your finger in this rear hole. Now, this itself, very nice knife. Normally hard to get your hands on this. Magna Cut blade steel, G10 scales, very well made. And I like the fact that this is made in America. Love this knife a lot, but a fixed blade knife over a folder today because a folder is more likely to collapse on your phalanges if you're using it for defensive purposes. And if you needed to, if you needed to bring it out and use it, it's a lot easier to use a fixed blade than a folder, although I really enjoy my folders. That's in my front right pocket. All right, so front right pocket, we got that. Front left pocket, we do have a flashlight. You want to have a flashlight that is capable of doing strobe mode, giving you some type of protection. And you want that strobe mode to be at least 1,000 lumens. There's a lot of flashlight that give you strobe modes at 500 lumens, 350 lumens, and a lot of the human eye could withstand a strobe mode that low. This is the Manker Light EOS 5 Mark II. This one, it depends on which one you get. One does 800 lumens, the other one does 1,400 lumens or 1,300. I forget the exact number. This is the one that does the higher lumen output. And this is one that you pull it out your pocket, you press quickly, you press it once and then you half press it again and you quickly access the strobe mode. So I like that. So the button is recessed, so it's less likely you accidentally click that button. But when you do click the button, it is easy just to give you another strobe warning. Press once, press again, boom, you got strobe mode. But if you want to, you can easily just switch between the modes. You can also do momentary mode. Very good flashlight. It works off a 14500 battery. So if the battery is dead for whatever reason, you can still put a AA battery in here and rock and roll and make this thing happen. So very capable flashlight, front left pocket. Now also in that front left pocket, just for today, normally I don't carry a multi-tool directly in my pocket, it will be the Leatherman Arc. I do have a Leatherman Wave Alpha on order. Leatherman Arc, my biggest issues with this is the torque. You can't put too much torque factor on there, but it's a very capable tool. If I need this for any MacGyver purposes today, I want to be able to have it, whether taking apart or tightening screws or trying to use it to pry inside of a door or whatever. Multi-tools can come in handy, especially this tool set where every single tool is accessible from the outside of the tool while it's closed. It has that good Magna Cut blade. This is the Obsidian variant. This, I think, was the last time the Leatherman Arc was worth it price-wise, because when I bought this for full price, it came with a big kit, came with a leather sheath. This was actually a pretty good deal. Now you get a Leatherman Arc, you're no longer getting a big kit. Let's just, whatever. Multi-tool, I recommend you have one just in case you needed to do some MacGyver type stuff, cut some cordage, whatever. You just never know when you're going to need something like this. Keep that with you at all times, cash. So you should keep money with you. Today's a money type of day. Of course, you want your cards, right? You always want to have access to your cards, but today's a money type of day. If you need to do some type of barter, bribe, whatever, keep money in different denominations. I tend to fold my smaller denominations on the outside and keep the larger denomination on the inside. So if someone sees me flash this money when I pay at a register or whatever, it looks like I have a 5 and a 1, but inside of there are larger denominations. Do whatever works for you. But this would get you an opportunity to buy something off of someone, buy something on the fly, and leaves little trace that you were in the area because you're not swiping your card. You want to also have a wallet itself that's capable and something that you can easily access your cards. I love my wallets, but this is probably the wallet that I can easily pull my cards out the fastest and pay for something or show my ID versus any other wallet that I have. This is a proof wallet. They make a lot of different variations. This is the first one they made, an alligator. Very, very nice. You don't have to go overkill like this. Also, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Ver. And I really want to bring to you something that has very good lume on a watch. This is the A12 Dirty Dozen. Here's the thing about this. Very good lume means that if you're somewhere and you go from day to darkness, you're still going to be able to easily read your watch face. I'm going to really reiterate with you guys that it's incredibly important that you wear a real watch versus a smartwatch, especially today of all days, or this weekend rather, because smartwatches die. Sometimes they lose signal. If your smartwatch doesn't have LTE service, that means it's directly dependent on your cell phone. And when your cell phone dies, your smartwatch is completely useless. This isn't handy because you can read the watch face easily. You can see what time. Say, for instance, you're in an area and authorities are telling you have such and such amount of time to clear out of that area, whether they say 10 minutes or they say you have to be inside by a certain time, like 1300 or whatever. You can read your watch face. There's no reason why you don't know what time it is. This has a very good automatic movement. It's extremely accurate. It's very beautiful. I love the way it functions. But the biggest thing about this is that the kinetic energy of your body keeps this movement going. So if you're moving, it has 48 hours of reserve time. So you don't have to worry about this thing dying out there on you this weekend. You can keep everything going and keep it functioning. Have a very dependable watch. Another thing is that if you get disoriented, if you lose your way, you can use an analog watch as long as the sun is out to figure out which way is south. So you can use that and figure out if you know your city generally, right? I know my city pretty well. If I get disoriented, I can see some street signs and I figure out which way south, I can begin to walk home just with that little bit of information. I love the fact that you can see the actual movement. You can see the rotor. You can see all that stuff in this watch, even when you have it off. I think that's beautiful as well. But check the links down below for the best pricing on this. Shout out to Ver for sponsoring today's video. And just also shout out to those that wear real watches. And let me know down below that you wear a real watch versus a smart watch, and I'll heart your message. So these are the things that are physically on my human person. They're on me at all times. But there are some things that are kind of like co-located to me, and they're normally in a pouch or they're in a sling bag. Today's a sling bag type of day. We plan on going to Spirit Halloween, and we might be going to IKEA, and we might go get some frozen yogurt. But last time No Kings happened, we ran into a protest. Now we were able to drive around it. Before that, there was the protest against Elon Musk. I forgot what they called that one. We ran into that one too. So I'm always trying to be prepared. So I do keep pepper gel with me. Now the pepper gel depends on how I want to carry this. It's either going to be in my back left pocket or it's going to be in this sling bag. I'm wearing this sling bag as a fanny. This is the Eberly Stock Fade Flex. Now you can wear this as a fanny or you can wear it as a waist pack. Look, I just want to show you how cinched down the strap is on this. I love the muted logo of this. The thing is that this is a very well-made sling bag, and I'm brand agnostic for this task. I just want you to wear something that's going to let for you to have very slim line. This is the Vertex Any Days, I think the Any Days sling. I'm brand agnostic when it comes to just getting something that lets you have a little bit extra kit with you, just to have it with you. So if it doesn't matter if it's 511, Eberly Stock, Vertex, you know, if you want to go with Roaring Fire, whoever. Thing is that pepper gel is going to allow for you to egress from a situation. Spray, you're going to get hit with it most likely too. But hey, you know what? I'd rather get spray back from a little bit of pepper gel and be able to escape back to my family or get my family out of a nasty situation than not. The reason I don't have this in the pouch is because normally what happens, I would put this in the cup holder of my vehicle, especially on a day like today, if we're riding through a protest or whatever, crack my window, spray a little bit out the window, keep it moving. But that's neither here nor there. So that's transferable. It goes from the sling bag and back and forth. But this thing is pretty awesome because the extra cordage for this is all kept in here, right? So all this cord is where you go here, and you can actually loosen this up to whatever you need it to be for the purposes of sling. So all this extra cordage I can pull out, and I can actually begin to use this as a waist pack or a fanny pack. So I can extend this as much as I need to. Once this is fully extended out, this becomes a usable pocket. This is actually a pretty dope design. I like the fact that they didn't put a zipper pull on here, so you'd be less likely to accidentally open it. It's very well made, but I like to use this, especially as a waist pack. Now, inside of this, especially because of the Fade Flex, it has this T pull tab on here, which makes it easy to get into the main compartment, which of course, the main compartment is where we're going to be rocking just very minimum items in here, which is going to be my Beretta, the a 40 caliber, and then we're also going to have an extra mag today, which I'm going to load up here in a second. So normally I don't carry extra mags. Normally I just carry the weapon itself, but today I'm kind of feeling I need to be able to exchange out just in case. Here in Texas, you can stumble into a protest or go to a protest with a weapon. So something that I can do here that's not a big issue that I can navigate through and still make happen. I like this bag because it does have two separate areas. So in the area in front, you can transfer that pepper gel I talked about for when it's time to walk through those stores. And it only doesn't fully open up. It kind of like leaves itself open so you can still see what's inside of here. Now, for me personally, I want just a couple of things in here. I have a more powerful flashlight up here than what's in my pocket. This one happens to be the Olight Seeker 4 Pro. This one here is rocking 4,600 lumens. It does 260 meters of throw. It still gives me the protection that I want. I like this because it has an automatic lockout mode, so this won't accidentally turn on while it's in this sling bag. I like that. And I also like the fact that you can kind of move it to whichever setting you want before you turn it on, turn it off pretty easily with here. It's a dope little light. And I like when you turn it off after 15 seconds, it automatically locks itself back out. So it gives me peace of mind that I'm not just killing my battery. Below that is a tourniquet. Now you can get, I would just say get a real tourniquet, whether it's from North American Tourniquet, a Cat 6 tourniquet, whatever. Reputable brand, real company. Don't go with some knockoff Chinese brand. I like to get actual cats that have national stock numbers. If you see NSN, so you see an NSN number, that means that this has gone through the rigors and could be sold to the government. So if you see a national stock number, that this has the possibility of being sold to the government. If you don't see a national stock number, or if it's a fraudulent national stock number, then you are putting yourself in jeopardy to not use a real tourniquet. So orange and black. Orange is normally for EMTs. Black is the ones you commonly buy. Blue is training tourniquets, so don't carry a training tourniquet. Get yourself a real one. Of course, I could get a Sharpie and put a time on here, but for today, I'm not too worried about that. If I need this, it's mainly to apply to myself or to a loved one, and I'm going to kind of just be ready to rock and roll and get us to, we live in a major city, so I'm going to try to get us to help as soon as possible. In front of that, there is a little bit extra room here if I want to throw extra items in here. So my pocket, my carry's getting bulky. I can throw my wallet in there. My multi-tool is getting on my nerves. I can throw that in here as well. Okay. So very, very just quick, easy loadout. Last thing we got to talk about. I always have water with me. We're going to have a full size Nalgene bottle, 32 ounces today. This is to be able to flush out eyes just in case tear gas is used in any specific area. And I have a drinking source, a water source, flush out a loved one's eyes. Easy to fill this up with a spigot from a building. I don't care about drinking tap water. I'll do that all day long. So we're going to have a full-size Nalgene bottle. These are optional. These last two items, fully optional. Don't know if you want to carry these on your person today. I'm not carrying them on my person today. They'll be nearby. The first one is going to be a gas mask. Now, I don't need a gas mask today because what I'm saying if I carry a gas mask today is that I intend to stay in an area with tear gas. I intend to stay in an area with CS gas or any other type of agent they launch. I don't intend to stay in that area. If that stuff is launched, I can hold my breath for 15 to 20 seconds while I'm running away from the area. So I still have mine capped. But this is a mirror safety, fantastic gas mask. You can still access and drink your canteens from this thing, but you're gonna have to carry this either in a some type of dump pouch or in a backpack. But I do have these things on standby, but more for staying here at the house if my house was attacked versus carrying this with me today. But hey, you do you. You feel like you're in an area, maybe you're in an area where the protests are near your house and it's your property, it's your castle, and you want to stay nearby, maybe you bring your gas mask today. So for mirror safety, and then a full medical kit. This is more of an ouchie boo boo kit. These are always with me, but it won't be on my human person today. This one particularly will be in my truck. I have a trauma kit in my truck. So I don't need this on my person. You may want to carry it today. If something were to happen to us today to where I felt like I needed any of this stuff, we would just play it by ear, whether it's, band-aids. This will be nearby, but I don't need it today for running into a protest. None of this stuff is really going to be advantageous for helping me egress from a protest, but you may decide you want a kit. That's really going to be up to you. But this is what I will be rocking today. Literally, I've already gotten dressed for the day. Mrs. X is in there cooking breakfast, and these are going to be the items that I bring with me to help protect my family. But it's going to be really up to you for what you think is going to be see fit for you. So let me know down below. Are you participating in the No Kings? Do you know that they're in your area? They do have a website that shows where all the hell the protests are going to be at. I don't go to the website and see where they're at because I don't go to the protests. So I never think to go to the website. But today we will be out and about. So first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, I would thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.